All right, we're about to dive into a really dark parable, one straight out of Germanic legend. We're talking heroes, monsters, and cursed gold. But look, this is way more than just a fantasy tale. It's actually a journey to understand a timeless and honestly, a pretty unsettling human truth. And it all boils down to this one question, right? How does a man become a monster? It's a question that haunts our oldest stories and, let's be real, our modern world too. This is the absolute core of the transformation we're going to explore, a change that doesn't begin with claws and fangs, but with a simple, all-too-human desire.
So, before we meet our characters, we need to get on the same page about the language of their world. You see, mythology isn't just entertainment, it's a code, a kind of practical, symbolic language for mapping out all those conflicts deep inside our own souls. These ancient stories, they really give us a framework for understanding the moral pressures we face today.
And in this particular legend, the whole conflict ignites with one of the most powerful symbols of all, cursed treasure. This right here, this is the catalyst for all the destruction that's about to unfold.
This story uses a hoard of gold as more than just a prize. It's a catalyst for moral decay. The desire for what that gold represents, power, status, security, that's the spark that sets the entire tragedy in motion. It literally acts like a magnet for ruin.
Okay, so let's look at our first case study in this dark transformation. A man named Fafnir, whose greed is going to, well, literally reshape him.
Nobody ever sets out to become a monster. For Fafnir, the whole journey starts with something we all recognize: ambition. But when that ambition is just left to fester, when it's fed at the expense of everything and everyone else, it twists into something truly malevolent.
And this is where the legend gives us this powerful visual metaphor: shape-shifting. Fafnir literally becomes a dragon. But this isn't just some magic trick. It's a perfect symbol for that internal decay. The allure of the Horde remakes him from the inside out, stripping away every piece of him that was human until only greed is left.
And this chart just lays it all out plain as day. This is the price of Fafnir's transformation. He trades brotherhood for total isolation. His human status gives way to this primal animalistic hunger. And his ambition? It just curdles into pure, mindless avarice. He's no longer a man who wants the gold. He is a beast that is its guardian.
And this gets right to the core warning of the entire myth. Fafnir the dragon is, terrifying. But the truly dangerous thing was the human greed that created him in the first place. The monster was already inside the man, just waiting for the right treasure to lure it out.
But, killing a monster doesn't automatically make you pure. Now we're going to turn to our hero, Sigurd, and see how his greatest deed becomes its own kind of curse. The path looks pretty straightforward, doesn't it? Slay the dragon, be the hero. But this legend adds this crucial, corrupting twist. After slaying Fafnir, Sigurd tastes the dragon's blood, and in that one single moment, he gains a profound and terrible kind of knowledge.
Now, this isn't just some gruesome detail they threw in there. Tasting the dragon's blood, it means internalizing a piece of that monstrous power and insight. He's no longer just an outsider fighting evil. He now sees the world through a new, much more complicated and dangerous lens.
And this new perception is a total double-edged sword. On one hand, Sigurd gets the ability to understand hidden truths. In the myth, it's the language of birds. But this insight also connects him directly to the treasure's corrupting influence, forcing him to confront the heavy moral cost of his own heroism.
So Sigurd's big reward isn't just fame or riches. It's a type of wisdom that is inherently corrupting. He sees the world more clearly than anyone, for sure, but that clarity is now forever tainted by the very darkness that he fought.
This corruption doesn't just stop with one man, or even one hero. The curse of the Horde has this long, dark echo that just ripples through generations.
The Horde's power is crystal clear here. It's not just an inert pile of gold. It is an active force, like a gravitational center for tragedy. It is constantly pulling people towards betrayal, towards violence, broken bonds, and ultimately their own ruin.
You can literally trace the cycle of this corrupted legacy across an entire family line. It all starts with one man's sin, which leads to his sons betraying each other. That betrayal then sets the stage for our hero's fall, and his fall ensures the entire family is just consumed by violence and ruin. It's a domino effect, all powered by greed.
And that is its true, insidious power. The curse doesn't just make you want stuff, it convinces you to value things over people. It whispers in your ear that gold is worth more than a brother, more than a promise, more than any bond. It fundamentally reorders your entire world until nothing sacred is left.
So, why does this ancient bloody tale still matter to us? Let's bring its warning into the present for a second and take a hard look in the mirror.
Well, for one, this story teaches us that heroism is never, ever simple. It's a path just filled with moral traps. Even the noblest heroes, people like Sigurd, have to struggle against the corrupting nature of power. Nobody is immune. Which brings us right back to where we started. This isn't just a story about a dragon. It's a mirror for our own time. The cursed horde, the unchecked ambition, the slow corruption of a hero, these are all really potent symbols for the moral pressures we all face today, whether that's the pursuit of profit or the hunger for online influence.
And this is the ultimate gift of the myth. It's not just some cautionary tale, it's a piece of ancient wisdom. It warns us to be aware of our own ambitions, to recognize the shadows and the potential monsters hiding in our own hearts, and to remember that the line between man and beast is dangerously, dangerously thin.
And so the myth leaves us with one final question to think about. Your hoard, it might not be a pile of gold. It could be a career, a reputation, an idea. We all have something we guard, something we desire, something we might just sacrifice too much for. So the question is, what treasure are you guarding, and what is it costing you?